Hello everyone, Shannon from Tuckaseegee Fly Shop located in Sylvan, Bryson City, North Carolina. However, I'm sitting in the great room of my house where I do a lot of my fly tying here. As you can tell, this is definitely not the shop environment, but this is where I get a lot of my stuff done and the creative juices start to flow. Wanted to take a moment and thank you for an awesome 2019. Speaking for myself, and I'm sure Jack, Dale, and Bobby, the owners of the Tuckaseegee Fly Shop there, man, what an awesome year. And if it wasn't for your folks' support, we would not have what we have today. Very blessed, and we want to thank you for that. Wanted to remind you of a few things. Be sure to catch us coming up here in January, the weekend of the 11th and 12th at the Virginia Fly Fishing and Wine Festival. So if you're in the area, stop by and see us there in Virginia. Be there for a couple of days. And then also in Cincinnati, Ohio on February 1st, we'll be at the Buckeye United Fly Fishers Federation show. It's a one-day show in Cincinnati area. It's an awesome show. I will be doing fly tying seminars at that particular show there as well. So we look forward to seeing you folks come out and meeting with us there, looking at some of the awesome things we have going forward in 2020. And hard to say 2020. Oh my gosh, that's hard to believe. 2020. I'm not getting any younger, folks, as you can tell by all the gray hair here, but it was an awesome year for sure. So these are not stress colors. These are awesome colors of excitement and being blessed beyond what I should be for sure. But thank you very much, and let's get into today's fly tying video. Hey folks, Shannon back here once again with the fly tying video we talked about earlier. What I'm going to be tying is a little Perdigon Nymph, which has been working really well for us here lately in North Carolina, especially for me. And I'm going to be tying it on a size 12 Hanak 400 BL Jig Classic, and I am going to put a 4.0 silver bead on this one here. So it's a little bit big. I've been fishing this in a 14 there and wanted something just a little bit heavier here with our little bit higher water conditions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to put us in a tail. So I'm going to get a little bit of thread base started here on my Norvise right quick. I'm just going to grab this thread here because that's what's on my spool. Let's go ahead and get that spun to the back. There we go. Awesome. So use the thread that you have lying around there for you. Let me get a little bit of Coke de Leon here for the tail material, little CDL. Gonna grab some of those fibers like so. Wham, grab that. And gonna kind of measure that out there for really quick. Get that started. Yes, here we go. All right, so this here will be the last time video of 2019, which is hard to believe that that's where we are now, but it is what it is. And it's been a great year. It seems like it's gone by super fast, but it's been a terrific year here in North Carolina, especially for Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. It's just been awesome beyond compare. So what I'm going to do on mine here is I'm actually going to put in a some of this floss material here, and I am going to put in a hot spot here in the back of this particular fly, and that's where I like to put in a hot spot here. There we go. Put in a half hitch or two. 1, 2, wham. These things tie super fast. And then the next material I'm going to be using for the body is the Quill body material by Veevus. This one here is olive in color. The olive's been working really well for me. It is actually called Body Quill, and it's BQ5. We have it there at the shop, so holler at us there for any of these materials. And I'm going to get that started here actually on the fly itself. This Perdigon is just a little bit different than what you'll see other ones tied, but this one here works really well for me. And as you can see, by having this Norvise here, I'm able to spin this stuff up here really quick, make a great little body on this. And I think you can tell how that little hot spot's starting to shape up there in the back. It looks really good. And with the hot spot being in the back, I just like it back there. I want to kind of build that transition up just a little bit better right there. But here we go. Bingo. I'm going to put a few little wet finishes in here. And then we're going to get on here to our UV resin part of it. There's one. And then here's number 2. Kind of get that there right quick. And understand that you can tie these in a plethora of colors. Using a big fancy word right there. My wife would be super proud. And now the next thing that we want to do is we're going to put some UV resin. You're going to say, wait, Shannon, you're not doing it right. As far as putting the you know, the black wing pads on here with paint, things like that, you certainly can do so. That's entirely up to you to do that. You can do that. You can do a Sharpie. Be honest with you folks, I kind of skipped that step, and I do not feel like that's ever kept me from catching any fish out there on the stream itself. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go right into some of our UV aspects of this here, and I'm going to use some Loon Outdoors fly finish here, and it's going to be in, this is the flow. Let me go ahead and get the thin right quick. I thought I had the thin here. I apologize. Here it is. I'm going to start putting this on here and start the curing process. But as you can see, man, these little flies right here are super, super easy to tie, and they're quick, and a great way for you to start to fill up that box. Get that back down here on the end, coated real nicely. And I'll put a couple of coats of this on here for sure. Get that right there. Yes. Man, I tell you, I had some awesome football games this past weekend. The Clemson Tigers, which is not too far from here. Clemson, been a fan of Clemson for a long time, folks. I'm talking Danny Ford era, some fantastic players, some history down at Death Valley, some interesting rivalries there with the Maryland Terrapins over the years in the 80s. I had a friend who actually drove the team bus for Clemson that had some interesting stories going to like the Gator Bowls and things like that back in the 80s. But here I'm going to hit this with my UV torch. I'm going to start the curing process here on this UV resin. And with a good torch, people, you can cure these things up here pretty quick actually. And you can really see that hot spot of that glowing at the back end of this fly, which I think is the most important part. We want the fish kind of grabbing in there. I believe that's where we want it to be. There. So I'm going to put just a little bit more, build that up right there. You know, UV resin is something you can always add to, but you can't take it away. Once you get it cured on there, right in there like so. I'm trying to build that up right there. Might be just a smidge. Not much. Let me get my bodkin right there. I look like the hunchback of Notre Dame. Right there. Gotta still love it. Yeah, my Cowboys are eliminated. You guys can give me some grief over that. But if they could fire the owner, we'd be in much better shape when it comes to that team for sure. The owner has been the downfall of that team for years. You know, him and Jimmy Johnson not getting along. There was a dynasty in the making back in the day, but boy, could he not. Two attitudes there, dominant attitudes that could not coexist for sure. But the makings of a great organization. But my Cowboys are out. We'll see what the NFL playoffs have to hold for us. College basketball's been up and down this year. Boy, what a man, all over the place. And you know, with March Madness not too terribly far away, you think about it, we got probably about 2 months of conference basketball. Is some pretty exciting stuff, and then we get into March Madness, and the next thing you know, we'll head into spring, and we got some opening season at MLB baseball. Looking forward to some more MLB baseball. Just want to make sure the eye of that hook right there is clean, just in case I did get some UV resin in there, which I think I did on that one there. But other than that, right there, folks, we have a completed little Perdigon Nymph. Tie them in many different colors. Tie them the way you like to tie them. That's the beauty of it. But this actually is a really good fish catcher. Cuts through the water really well. And remember, you can get these items from us there to tie this at Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. So look at us at tuckflyshop.com or give us a call at 1-828-488-3333. This is Shannon signing off, and we'll catch you in 2020. Have a wonderful new year.